digital marketing is crucial to the marketing plan as a whole. I mean, I think about myself as a consumer and how I am, you know, I get caught up in Instagram all the time and I'm like, oh, I've seen this product, 50 times already. So now I'm going to buy it. And it takes so many more touch points, so many more interactions to get people's attention now because they are bombarded with information all day long.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
All right, guys, we are excited to chat with you today. Blake and Sherman here again. We have a very special guest, Beth from MADabolic, right? We're going to be talking about a lot of things today. If you guys don't know what MAD is, don't worry. We are going to tell you. One of our past guests, Stu, you guys know Stu from WTF, Gym Talk, and all of that stuff. He talked about this franchise. So we're going to talk about that, some of the ins and outs, because I know that some of our listeners are going to reach out and want to start up with MAD after this episode. So we're excited to bring this to you. So first of all, Beth, thank you for spending time with us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So let's sort of jump right into it. What is MAD for everyone that doesn't know? Sort of tell us.
Yes, so MADabolic is barbell-free strength and conditioning. So we are a group fitness studio, and we focus on lifting heavy weights to build strength. So biggest differentiator between MADabolic and what you would see at a lot of other places is the focus on the heavy weights, as well as getting a trainer who's going to focus on correcting your form so that you can move safely, prevent injuries. So every workout has 5 movements. And every workout is a different interval. So you will be working for a certain amount of time, resting for a certain amount of time, and focusing on getting stronger.
Okay, good. I like that. Now, a lot of our listeners are CrossFit affiliate owners, right? So, but I know that you have, I don't know how many you have, but you have a couple crossovers, right? Some guys with some CrossFit gyms, and they're looking at getting. So first of all, there's no contention there, guys. MAD, CrossFit, you can have 2 gyms, make them both work. But tell me this, when someone first sees you guys, for me, I had never heard of you guys really before Stu started just talking about you guys. And then I went on your website, the pages and all of that. And like what you guys do is catchy. It is like, it's exciting. So for you guys, when you sort of vet potential owners, like what are you guys looking for?
So we want someone who's like-minded. We want someone who shares the same beliefs and the same values. So we like to say, like, we don't do what sells, we do what works. And so we're not going to do like 6-week challenges or push like, we want you to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time. We want our members to create a lifestyle and to be consistent for a long amount of time. So we want owners who definitely share those beliefs and are passionate about them. We don't tell people to like, oh, you can't eat this food. Like we want everyone to enjoy what they enjoy eating and be able to follow a nutrition and fitness plan that's going to work for them long term. So that's definitely the first thing. And then, a lot of it depends on like the location they want to open in. If they plan, we have a lot of owners right now who do own another gym. So several that own CrossFit gyms, or even that used to own a CrossFit gym and wanted to step away from that. So we have owners that have never been in the fitness industry and they decide they're going to do this and then hire, a badass GM to run the operations. So a little bit of everything now.
Okay, good. And you guys are based out of Charlotte,
We
correct?
are. Yep, that's where our flagship
Okay.
location
And
is.
give me a little bit more history. How long have you guys been around? Sort of tell us, like, how did this thing get started? Because all of us that were in sort of the CrossFit space, like, we know how CrossFit got started, right?
Yeah.
With Greg Glassman, his garage, and it blah blah blah. So sort of tell us a little bit about the history of Mad.
Absolutely. So MADabolic was started in 2011 by Kirk and Brandon. They're former professional hockey players. So they actually used to own a CrossFit gym. And then they wanted to create something that was more accessible to the everyday person. Um, you know, we have mad respect for CrossFit, and we love everything they've done. They got a lot of people back into fitness when they first started, but the barbell can be very unforgiving. The gymnastics portion can be very challenging for people, and so we focus on using dumbbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, kettlebells, D-balls, not barbells, to still get that strength component into our workouts. But yeah, they started in 2011, and we now have 3 locations in Charlotte, and we have 31 locations open across the United States, and 1 in Canada, and about 77 more in development right now.
Ooh, so this is a major growth point in you
Yes.
guys sort of life, because 33 open, then 77 in development. That's a big deal. So I'm just gonna round the math. We're looking at 100 locations, sort of in the works or open right now. What sort of you guys long term plan? Like, I shouldn't say long term. What sort of some of you guys goals in the beginning? Because I don't think, like, I hear everyone, whenever I heard Glassman talking, I don't think he really had a goal in mind. It was just sort of, I don't know, I'm just gonna keep helping people as it goes, and then if it gets to 10,000, it gets to 10,000. Do you guys have any goals and stuff that you want to hit as far as locations?
Yeah, so we definitely want to get into more of the major cities. We have a location in Brooklyn, but we would love to get into Chicago, LA, Miami. Um, we have a location that's going to opening in Dallas soon, and one there already. So some of those 77 are like multi-unit deals, so they'll open over
Correct.
several years. But definitely focus
Gotcha.
right now is getting into those major markets.
Okay, so that means if you're in a major market, thinking about opening the gym, reach out to the folks at Mad. They may be a good option, a great solution for you. I'm not in a major city, so I couldn't open up one. So tell me this: what's sort of the when someone comes into your gym, what's sort of the, like? Do you guys have a specific regimen that folks do when they come into the class? Sort of fill us in on that, because we just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, if someone comes in for the first time, first thing that we wanted to make sure we know is what they've done for fitness, what their goals are, to make sure that we're going to be able to help them. And then once they take their first class, we'll make sure that they get scheduled for 2 more. So basically, the way our program works, we have 3 themes that make up our training program. So momentum, anaerobic, and durability. So that's what MAD stands for. Those 3 themes have different work to rest ratios, and they work at different intensities so that you're training all of your energy systems. So big goal is to make sure when someone comes in, they try all 3 intervals. And then for our members, we recommend to our members that they train with us 4 days a week and stick to a consistent schedule. The way that the guys program the workouts, it is most effective if you try to come the same days of the week every week, so that you're getting that progressive overload built in. And besides coming 4 days a week to MAD, get out and walk. Make sure you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Focus on dialing in your nutrition. Um, Kind of trying to get rid of this misconception that you have to work out 7 days a week to see results. We want to make sure that everyone understands how important recovery is to the results they're looking for, and how important nutrition is to the results that they're looking for. So we do have a nutrition blueprint as well that aligns with our program, that is based on tracking macros. And so if people are able to consistently, use that blueprint, and stay true to their training program, then they're going to see some incredible results.
Got you. Um, Actually, I didn't know that. Then after I ask this, Blake, I'll let you ask a question. So, with you guys' nutrition blueprint, like, what do you got? Like, are you guys giving them what to eat? Are you giving them guidelines? How does that work with you guys?
Yeah, so we don't give them what to eat. We believe that there's no such thing as a good and a bad food. So, we want you to eat your fruits and vegetables, but I eat dessert after every meal. Not even joking. I eat Oreos in my breakfast. I eat dessert after lunch. I eat dessert after dinner because I enjoy sweets. But I'm able to do that because I make sure to get enough protein in throughout the day and enough fruits and vegetables, micronutrients to balance everything out. So the blueprint, it has three different phases in it. So there's a maintenance phase, a fat loss phase, and a muscle gain phase. And so it's based on estimations from people's weight, and it'll give you calorie targets and then targets to eat as far as how many grams of carbs, fat, and protein. There's a ton of guidance in there too on like how to get started tracking your food, how to get started with your maintenance phase, how long to stay in each phase. And then several of the trainers across the entire brand are nutritionists and offer one-on-one nutrition coaching. So we do have a lot of members that will take advantage of that as well.
So I want to take a step back because you were talking about, obviously there's a lot of competition in the gym space, and there's tons of, different types of gyms that are listening to this: CrossFit, martial arts, all that kind of stuff. And obviously in the franchise space, then you have the F45s, the Spangas, the Orange Theories, right? But I think the one thing I always thought really cool about MADabolic and like seeing just Stu's stories was like the branding and differentiating yourself. So how did you guys as MADabolic, what was the plan to, or not even the plan, like what would what advice would you give to gyms, but on a bigger level, what did you guys do to be like, this is how we're going to be different and stand out in the market so we're not bundled in with everybody else? Because I think everybody can learn a lot of like, hey, because I always say fitness industry is the easiest for boutique gyms, the easiest to open. There's the most competition, and it's probably one of the hardest business to like actually run, right? So yeah, just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So our creative director Finley, she's behind all the branding and all of the amazing Instagram posts that you see. And we have a great videographer, Kristen, who does not like, she films all the classes, makes all the reels and everything. But one of the things that you'll find with MADabolic, kind of like I mentioned earlier, is that we are not going to use those like marketing gimmicks. Orange Theory does a great job and their marketing has worked, but we get people that come to us because they've plateaued there. They've stopped seeing results. And so we're not going to use, say, like, you need to wear a heart rate monitor and be in the orange zone throughout the whole workout and, measure your splat points. We do not use any sort of like technology, like no watches or anything like that. It is just, we have a training program that works. And if you are willing to stick to the plan, you're going to see results. We don't put a timeline on anything as far as results. Like, we want people to be patient, which is a hard thing to teach. So, um, you know, we let people know, like, this is not something that you're going to do just for 12 weeks. This is going to be, most of our members are here 3+ years. I've been doing this since 2015. There was just a member in class with me before who's been doing MAD since 2011. So this is a much different model in that we do have very heavy weights that you would not see at a typical like boutique gym. We have, 48 kilogram kettlebells. We have 90-pound dumbbells, 90-pound D-balls. And so there's always room to get stronger and get better. And that, just aligns with our entire marketing strategy of not putting out like the BS that it does work on people, but it's not the truth. It's a gimmick.
Yeah. And I think that leads me to like two more questions is like, we always talk about like knowing your ideal client. Like, I don't truly believe you can be for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, maybe personal training wise, you can. And like, if you're one on one, but when you get in a group atmosphere, if you have a 90-year-old and a 20-year-old, it's really hard to coach everybody at the same time of very different needs. Because if the 20-year-old's trying to be a performance and the 90-year-old's just not trying to die, that's much different goals, right? And so, what is, who is MADabolic for? But I think a bigger question too that a lot of people in the fitness industry, and even when I had my gyms, is, keeping a client for a long time. So like you mentioning that like, hey, this is like a long-term thing and don't expect results right away, because in a world that everything is like, I need now, right? Like, I got to have it now. I need this now. Like, this has got to happen. I got to see results immediately. How do you convey that like this is a long-term plan? Like, hey, if you're only looking to join for like 3 months or maybe even 4, 5, 6 months, like we're not the gym for you. We're looking for like, because I looked at your Instagram, it's like, hey, a 12-month commitment is like really where you need to be. So how do you convey that to people? So like ideal client, because it's super important. And then how do you convey that like, hey, we're a lifestyle gym that you can do forever? And I think a big thing that you guys do is that like a lot of your audience is like probably a lot of people that have been injured or just beat themselves up a lot. So that's probably one thing. But yeah, I'm interested to hear kind of that.
Yeah. So ideal client, high achievers, go getters. We have most of our members are young professionals, so they are, people who were athletes growing up, whether high school, college. They usually have been in fitness before, whether it's at another gym, like working out on their own, or another boutique studio. And they want something more. Like, they're not satisfied with what they're getting somewhere else. And that is what we want to deliver to our members. And that's why they stay so long, because it is, yes, the workout is fantastic. Yes, like, you are going to see results. I mean, I've been doing this 9 years now, and I still get stronger, and I still, increase my mobility and feel better and all of that. But we constantly educate our members on the importance of consistency over, wanting immediate results. And it is just through that education and through building trust and building relationships with them that we're able to convey that and get them to understand it. It is very counterculture. Like, that's not the norm that you see when you go to a gym. It's like, oh, I have a wedding coming up and I want to lose 10 pounds by the wedding. We will flat out tell them, like, if the wedding is next month, like, that's not healthy to do. So let's not put a timeline on it. But in order to have a realistic a conversation like that with someone, you have to get to know them first, and you have to build that relationship first. So definitely relationship building, educating, is super important.
Okay, good. So, like I said in the beginning, like we sort of ran across you guys because our good friend Stu, and then now it's been great. Like it's been great working with you guys. You guys are open, Well, yeah, it's just been great. But tell me this, because I think there are a lot of gyms, specifically in the niche that we're in, these micro gyms that we work with. So many people don't really dive into digital marketing, which obviously we think is a huge mistake. Um, but you guys have pretty much, you guys been telling us, hey, we trust you guys. Let's do this. Let's work together. Um, Obviously, you guys believe in the power of digital marketing. Like, how does that help your other franchisees grow? Because I know that you guys have tried some stuff in the past, and now we're excited to be working alongside you guys. But um, obviously, you guys believe in digital marketing. Let's sort of just talk about that a little bit before we get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, digital marketing is crucial to the marketing plan as a whole. mean, I think about myself as a consumer and how I am, you know, I get caught up in Instagram all the time and I'm like, oh, I've seen this product, 50 times already. So now I'm going to buy it. And it takes so many more touch points, so many more interactions to get people's attention now because they are bombarded with information all day long. And so understanding that like if we can run digital ads and people can see us on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever it may be, and then we go out into the community and we do a free workout somewhere, and then we do a tabling event somewhere, all of that is going to work together to make sure that we're in the front of someone's mind when they want a new gym. Or if, someone just moves to the area, we're in the front of their mind. So it's just doing as much as possible and giving people as much exposure to the brand as we possibly can. I think if digital marketing isn't working, it's usually something that, the gym owner or the general manager, whoever it may be, is not doing on their side, whether it's the lead nurture process or the sales process, or not like doing any sort of organic social media. I think all of those have to work together for it to be effective.
I think one thing, and this might ruffle some feathers, which totally okay. Um, Boutique gyms, like a lot of CrossFit gyms, like they don't realize the franchise gyms like Orange Theory's, MADabolic, all those people, it is required that you do paid marketing before you open. There's a lot of boutique gyms, and like for you guys that are listening to boutique gyms, I just wrote a post about this. Like, you wonder why Orange Theory and all these franchises open with 150, 400 members. A lot of people think they're back in the Field of Dreams days of like, if we build it, they will come. And it's like, no, you actually have to spend money. And like, one of our coaches, like, I allocate 10% of my income or my revenue to marketing. Like, I actually have a marketing plan. And I think one thing that everybody listening that has to take away, if you don't have a marketing plan, you're always going to lose to these bigger competitors, MADabolic, Orange Theory, F45. Like my buddy opened, like we worked, I won't mention, he owns, like an F45, and there's another studio that we work with. They had to spend $7,000 a month in paid marketing, which I thought was a little obscene. But like F45 does like $3,000 a month. And like, so, I think one thing for a lot of people to hear is like, when you're going to open a gym, and like you can elaborate on this, is like having, like, you guys have a very strategic organic plan, marketing plan. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, like the importance of just having that?
Oh yeah, I have a great example of this. So we had 2 locations open in Charlotte. The one South End's been open since 2011. Elizabeth has been open since 2016, and we just opened in Noda last year, 2023. And the Noda location had 1, if not 2, events every single day. They had 5 to 6 free workouts throughout the week, like at apartment complexes, at breweries. They were setting up tables at local delis and local coffee shops and just out meeting people and getting their information. And this is in a market where MADabolic is pretty well known, but there were people that third location is 10 minutes from either of our other locations. So it's not far. And there were people that had no idea what MADabolic was. So the marketing part of it, like, I think people underestimate how much marketing it takes to get someone's attention. Especially, MADabolic is still pretty young, and not a lot of people, like if we're opening a new city, no one's really heard of us before. So even though we're a franchise, it is still a small business owner who's running this, and they have to be out hustling. And they have to be out doing probably more than they think they need to do to be able to capture people's attention.
So, first, and Sherman will wrap it up, but big arching, what would you give after working with all these MADabolic gyms and all these franchise owner? What piece of it, like, what's the biggest thing that you've learned in the gym industry to help like gym owners be like, this is probably one thing that's like really just changed either my perspective or an insight that really can like, hey, this is one big step that you can take in your business today?
Yeah, so I've been a trainer at MAD since 2016, and I was a member like for a year before that. So, I mean, I love MADabolic. The workout has done tremendous things for me, and I think the problem that I used to have was I would think that because I loved MADabolic, everyone would love it. And like we had the best training program ever. And anyone who comes is going to think that this is the greatest thing in the world. And that's not how it works. I think gym owners need to realize that the most important thing they need to do is have conversations with people. And they need to get to know the people who are submitting their information on a lead form or who are coming in the door for more information, and not focus so much on selling their product or their service, but on building the relationship, because people will stay just for that reason. People will sign up because the trainer is friendly and smiles and like greets them and, you know, knows them by name and knows their kids' names and what they do for a living. All of that is so much more important than the workout itself.
Yeah. And I always said, you know, this keeps going back to like when like Chat GPT and all AI was coming out, and everybody's like, this is going to change and we're going to automate the whole thing. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you this: AI is going to become the zero on your phone when you get the automated messages. It's like, I just want to talk to a human.
Yeah.
And from day one, I was like, if you go all in on AI, the gym that doesn't and does it personal is going to crush you.
Yep.
And they will. And I'm seeing it already of like, just like you said, people just sending links. People like, oh, just book here, or, you know, click this. It's like, no, why do you think Amazon is so, they make it easy,
They make it easy.
right? So the big one huge takeaway you guys can all take: stop sending freaking links to people. Ask them, hey, what day and time can you come in? And then act like a human. Be like, hey, I want to make sure we're actually a good fit for you. Can you tell me about your fitness goals? Because I want to make sure that we're going to be the right fit for you. So I think that's such a huge thing. It's just like we're getting away so much in culture from like relationships to automation, just because we want to be efficient or honestly, to make things easy, right? How can I automate everything, right? And I only see Chat GPT as a way to be more efficient and produce more content. And that's literally the only thing I use it for. But yeah, I think that is like a huge thing. And it's funny because every single episode, the last 5 episodes have all been stop acting like you're a unique unicorn and talk to people like they're people and help them solve their problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the world we live in today, like people want to hide behind their phones. And I think, you know, COVID probably did a number on some people. And I was a teacher during COVID, and when we went back to school, like my students had no idea how to talk to each other. And it blows my mind. I'll see, you know, GMs that get responses from people and they're like, well, what do I say? Like, how do I start a conversation? Or we tell our trainers, like during the warm up, go up and talk to people, get to know them. And they're like, well, what do I say? It's scary that people don't know how to talk to each other anymore. But that is the biggest difference maker in any gym. People will stay for the relationships every time.
Yeah, I remember taking my kids to a park right after COVID, and my son's 4, and he got born right in during COVID, and everybody like, I'm sorry, my kid's a COVID baby. He doesn't know like how to associate with people. I'm like, that is horrible. Like, your kid's a COVID baby, so he literally is just doesn't know how to talk to other kids. But yeah, I think that's a great point. Is just be relational and just be a human.
Yep. Yeah. I think those are all great points, right? Like, we have to have this conversation more if we, as you know, micro gym owners, regardless of the sign we put out front, right? Like, this is how we grow our brands, right? Like, there's a reason that Nike and Reebok and all these big companies who everyone on the face of the planet knows about, they still spend millions and millions of dollars on marketing because they understand if you just stop it, okay, your business is going to see the effects of that. But I think it's a great episode. Beth, if someone wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Or open a MADabolic? What do they
Yeah,
do?
open a MADabolic. Easiest way to get information about opening a MADabolic would be to go to our website. There is a section on there where you can submit information or submit your information, and then we will get in touch with you if you're interested in opening a franchise. And then easiest way to get in touch with me would be through Instagram. So my Instagram is Beth Berkey 13. So BETHBERKEY 13. And you can send me a DM and let me know if you have any questions about MAD.
All right, sounds good. Beth, as always, it was a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll have I'm going to speak it into existence. We'll do another podcast episode when we come to you guys. You guys have some type of thing in
Franchise
Charlotte. We're going to
conference.
come in. Yes, we're going to come to the franchise
Yes.
conference. We're going to help a lot of people to hang out and do something live. So we're excited. But yeah, thank you. And you guys, as always, tell a friend to tune in. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys next week. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoy. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's LASSOFRAMEWORK.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.